There is a power inside you that has been waiting to be awakened. And the moment you decide to rewire your mind, everything in your life will begin to shift. Every result you desire, every dream you carry, every success you crave is already within reach, but your brain must be trained to work for you instead of against you. Too many people spend their lives repeating the same cycles, not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because their thinking is wired to hold them back. Imagine living each day with a mind programmed for confidence, resilience, and unstoppable action. That is not a fantasy, it is a choice, and you can begin to choose it right now. Success is not built in a single moment of glory. It is crafted day after day by the small, invisible choices you make in your thoughts and actions. What you repeatedly tell yourself becomes your reality. If you wake up each morning thinking you are not capable, you will subconsciously seek proof of your own limitations. But if you wake up training your mind to expect progress, you will find doors opening where others only see walls. The difference is not in luck, the difference is in the wiring of the mind. Think about this: your brain has been conditioned since childhood by the words you heard, the experiences you went through, and the beliefs you adopted. Maybe you were told you were not good enough. Maybe you failed and convinced yourself it was the end. Maybe you started believing success is for other people, but not for you. Those are old programs, and like a computer running outdated software, they keep you slow, unmotivated, and stuck. The only way forward is to uninstall those limiting programs and install new ones built on confidence, discipline, and vision. That is what brain training really means. It is not about becoming someone else. It is about removing the layers of fear and doubt so the best version of you can finally come forward. Every day gives you a chance to practice this training. When you feel fear, that is the signal to lean forward, not step back. When you face failure, that is the opportunity to ask what lesson you can extract to grow stronger. When your mind starts whispering that you cannot do it, that is the moment to override the voice with a louder, more powerful declaration that you will do it and you will keep moving no matter how many times it takes. Your brain adapts to repetition, so the more you choose strength over weakness, the more natural strength will become. Imagine two versions of yourself. One is ruled by hesitation, by excuses, by old beliefs that limit what is possible. The other is bold, disciplined, and focused with a mind that expects growth every day. Which version you become depends entirely on how you train your brain each morning, each evening, and every decision in between. Success is not given to those who hope for it. Success is given to those who prepare their minds to receive it. You may wonder how long it will take before you feel this shift. The truth is the process begins the very moment you commit. The first time you reject a negative thought and replace it with a positive one, you have already rewired a pathway in your brain. The first time you choose action over hesitation, you have already begun to train your mind toward courage. The first time you decide to keep moving after failure instead of quitting, you have already installed the mindset of resilience. These may seem like small wins, but stacked together, they create a mental framework that cannot be broken. Do not underestimate the power of consistent brain training. It is like exercising a muscle. At first it feels heavy and uncomfortable, but with persistence it grows stronger, and eventually what once felt impossible becomes effortless. The same is true with your mind. What feels challenging today will one day feel natural and automatic if you keep practicing. The choice to build your mental strength is the foundation of every success you will ever create. Every person who has achieved greatness has faced the same struggles you are facing right now. They had doubts, they had fears, they had setbacks that nearly broke them. The difference is not that they were born with something special. The difference is they trained their minds to see possibilities where others only saw barriers. They chose to keep moving when quitting seemed easier. They learned that the mind is the most powerful tool a human being possesses. And if it is not trained, it becomes the greatest enemy. But once it is rewired, once it is disciplined, it becomes unstoppable. Think about the moments in your own life when you felt unstoppable. Maybe it was a time when you refused to give up, even though everything seemed against you. Maybe it was a day when you surprised yourself by doing something you once thought was impossible. Those moments were not accidents, those were glimpses of the strength that already lives inside you. The question is, will you allow that strength to become your default state, or will you only access it occasionally when life forces you to rise? Brain training is the process of making that power your daily reality instead of a rare spark. Every challenge you face is a test of how you choose to think. When you see an obstacle, you can interpret it as proof that you are not good enough, or you can interpret it as an invitation to grow stronger. Your interpretation creates your reality. This is why two people can face the exact same difficulty and one will collapse while the other will rise. It is not the difficulty that determines the outcome, it is the wiring of the mind. If your mind is trained to focus on solutions, you will find a way. If your mind is wired to focus on problems, you will stay stuck where you are. You cannot afford to keep feeding your brain with negativity and expect to live a positive life. What you consume daily matters. The videos you watch, the people you spend time with, the words you repeat in your head, all of it programs your brain. If you are surrounded by doubt and discouragement, it is only a matter of time before you start living small. But if you surround yourself with motivation, learning, and growth, your brain begins to expect more from you. It begins to believe more is possible. And once your brain believes something, your body, your energy, and your actions align to make it real. This is why you must treat your brain like sacred ground. Protect it from negativity, protect it from excuses, protect it from anyone who tries to convince you that you cannot rise. Feed it with empowering messages, feed it with knowledge, feed it with visions of who you can become. Every day ask yourself, what am I planting in my mind today? Because what you plant is what will grow. If you plant fear and doubt, you will harvest regret. If you plant courage and discipline, you will harvest success. Do not wait for motivation to magically appear, because motivation is not a gift, it is a practice. Some mornings you will not feel like training your mind, some days you will not feel like doing the work. That is when you must remember that feelings are temporary, but discipline is permanent. Success is never about doing what you feel like, it is about doing what you must even when you do not feel like it. When you master that mindset, your brain begins to operate at a higher level because it no longer waits for permission from emotions. It acts based on purpose. The truth is, every day you are either wiring your brain for strength or wiring it for weakness. There is no neutral. Every thought either pushes you forward or pulls you backward. Every action either sharpens your mind or dulls it. This is why awareness is critical. The moment you catch yourself drifting into excuses, you must stop and redirect. The moment you hear your inner voice whispering doubt, you must replace it with a voice of certainty. The moment you feel hesitation, you must move forward before fear grows stronger. This constant training rewires your brain until success becomes your natural state. You have to realize that the mind left on autopilot will always pull you back to comfort zones. Comfort feels safe, but comfort is the enemy of growth. Every great breakthrough in history came from someone who refused to settle for what was easy and instead pushed into the unknown. Your brain must be trained to embrace discomfort as the birthplace of transformation. When you feel resistance, that is not a sign to stop, it is a sign you are moving into new territory where your growth lives. The strongest people are not those who never feel fear, they are those who keep moving despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward with fear in your hands and determination in your heart. You must begin to treat your brain like a warrior in training. A warrior does not wait for the battle to prepare, they train daily, so when the challenge comes, they are ready. Your daily affirmations, your daily focus, your daily rituals, these are the weapons you use to shape your mental strength. If you skip this training, your mind will default back to weakness when pressure rises. But if you are consistent, you will meet every obstacle with the mindset of a warrior who has already rehearsed victory 1,000 times in the mind before achieving it in reality. Think about the story you tell yourself every day. That story is shaping your future more than any external factor. If your story is, I am unlucky, I am stuck, I am not good enough, your life will reflect that. But if your story is I am capable, I am learning, I am unstoppable, then your life will begin to align with that truth. The brain responds to repetition, so even if you do not fully believe the new story at first, keep repeating it until belief takes root. Over time, your brain will stop resisting and will accept the new story as reality. That is how champions are created. They are not created by luck, they are created by rewriting the story in their minds and then living it every single day. Remember, success is not something you chase, it is something you attract by the person you become. When your brain is wired for confidence, discipline, and growth, opportunities begin to appear that you once overlooked. People begin to trust you, doors begin to open because your energy communicates certainty. You stop asking, can I do this? And you start declaring, I will do this. That shift in energy changes everything. Success is not outside of you, it is within you, and it begins the moment you choose to rewire your thinking. There will be moments when you feel like nothing is working, and those moments are the true tests. Anyone can feel motivated when everything is going well, but the real winners are those who keep training their minds when nothing seems to change. That persistence builds mental toughness that nothing can break. Each time you push through discouragement, you are carving deeper pathways of resilience in your brain. Eventually, that resilience becomes your default response, and nothing can stop you. This is how ordinary people rise to extraordinary heights, not by avoiding struggle, but by rewiring their minds to see struggle as the pathway to greatness. Do not wait for some perfect time to begin this training, because that perfect time does not exist. The perfect time is right now. The longer you wait, the more your old programs sink deeper into your brain, and the harder they are to change. Every day you delay is another day you are strengthening the very patterns that keep you stuck. But the moment you begin, you take back control, you start building momentum. Even small steps taken consistently create massive rewiring over time. The brain is flexible, it adapts to what you repeatedly do, so the sooner you start, the faster you will transform. You owe it to yourself to live a life where your mind is not your prison, but your greatest weapon. Too many people die with their dreams still inside them because they never trained their brains to believe it was possible. Do not let that be your story. Your future self is waiting for you to rise to the challenge now. Train your brain daily and watch how the impossible begins to look possible and then inevitable. Every single day you wake up, you are given the same chance as the most successful people in the world, the chance to decide how you will think, act, and move forward. Success does not care about your background. It does not care about your past failures. It does not care about where you started. What matters is how you train your brain today, because today is the only moment you can control. If you commit to training your mind, each day success becomes inevitable because your brain begins to align with your vision instead of your fears. You must understand that your brain is like a garden. Whatever you plant consistently will grow, whether it is weeds of doubt or seeds of greatness. If you do not take control, the weeds will take over automatically because negativity is always easier than discipline. But if you choose to plant powerful thoughts, if you water them with action, if you protect them from the weeds of excuses, your garden will flourish. You cannot expect a harvest of success if you are planting thoughts of fear every day. You cannot expect to build a strong life if you are feeding your mind weak stories. You must be intentional with what you allow to grow inside your head. The difference between the person who lives with regret and the person who lives with fulfillment is the decision to rewire their mind. Regret is born from a brain that surrendered to comfort. Fulfillment is born from a brain that embraced growth. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you rewire your brain. Every time you choose progress over perfection, you rewire your brain. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you rewire your brain. These choices may feel small in the moment, but they are building a mental framework that will carry you through every storm life throws at you. There will be moments when you are alone in your journey, when nobody understands why you are so committed, when nobody sees the vision you see. That is when your brain training will matter most because it will keep you steady when outside validation is not there. You must learn to encourage yourself. You must learn to be your own source of belief. You must learn to be fueled by vision instead of approval. That inner strength will make you unstoppable because you will no longer be controlled by the opinions of others. You will be led by your mission, not by their doubts. Think about the legacy you want to leave behind. Do you want to be remembered as someone who played it safe or someone who rewired their mind and created a life of impact? Do you want to be remembered as someone who let fear win or someone who turned fear into fuel? The answer lies in how you train your brain today, because your future is shaped not by what you wish for, but by what you think, believe, and do repeatedly. If you want to leave a legacy of strength, then you must build it one mental repetition at a time. You have everything you need within you right now. The same brain that has been holding you back can become the brain that propels you forward. The same patterns that created failure can be replaced with patterns that create victory. The same thoughts that once limited you can be rewritten into thoughts that liberate you. Your brain is waiting for your command. It will obey whatever you tell it most often. So tell it you are capable, tell it you are disciplined, tell it you are resilient, tell it you are unstoppable. Repeat these truths until your brain has no choice but to accept them as reality. This is your moment to rewire your life through the daily training of your brain. Do not wait another day. Do not waste another year living below your potential. The time is now, the choice is yours, and the power is already within you. Begin today with one thought, one decision, one action that aligns with the person you are becoming. Then repeat it tomorrow and the day after and the day after that. Soon the rewiring will be complete, and success will no longer feel like a dream. It will feel like your natural way of living. Train your brain daily, and you will not just reach success, you will embody it.